Imagine that you stand beside fire 40,000 years ago while your tribe watches silently. You have made one mistake, and nobody speaks, yet every silent face suddenly feels dangerous. Maybe you took too much meat or froze when the hunters truly needed courage. One wrong moment can turn warmth, food, and protection into cold distance before sunrise. Today, judgment arrives through screens, comments, likes, and one cold message without a smile. But back then, judgment lived in human eyes around fire, much closer than darkness. Modern embarrassment can ruin your day, but ancient embarrassment could erase tomorrow completely without mercy. So why does one simple look still feel like danger inside your body today? But the strangest part begins later, because this fear was not weakness at first. It began as survival in a world where one lonely human was almost finished. A person alone had no claws, no thick skin, and no safe night vision. Cold could kill them, hunger could weaken them, and predators could find them sleeping. But a group changed everything, turning fragile bodies into something almost impossible to break. The group shared fire, guarded children, remembered water, and noticed danger before sunrise together. To be accepted by them meant one more morning, one more breath, one chance. To be rejected by them meant walking alone into a world filled with teeth. And here, everything becomes frightening, because opinion was never just an opinion back then. It could decide who received meat, weapons, shelter, trust, and a place nearby tonight. If people doubted you, they might give you less food after a dangerous hunt. If they feared you, they might stop letting you sleep near their children anymore. If they disliked you, they might leave before dawn without calling your name again. No prison was needed, because distance from the group was already punishment enough itself. That is why humans began watching faces as carefully as they watched dark forests. A smile meant safety, silence meant danger, and whispers could become a sentence quickly. But this is only half the story, because reputation could outlive the mistake itself. Ancient people had no written profiles, but they carried stories inside living memory together. If you stole once, the whisper could follow you through many seasons afterward for years. If you panicked once, children might repeat it beside future fires at night later. Slowly, humans discovered they existed twice, inside themselves and inside other watching minds too. The second version could be braver, weaker, kinder, or more dangerous than truth itself. And sometimes that invisible version decided your future before you could defend yourself properly. Now imagine a young hunter joining adults for the first important hunt alone at dawn. He wants respect, meat, and proof that he deserves standing beside them today with pride. But his foot cracks a dry branch too early, and the animal disappears into trees. The hunters return hungry, and the young hunter feels every silent glance burning through him. Nobody attacks him, but one elder's stare makes the night feel colder than before. Now imagine the worst possible moment, when a child learns this fear early in life. You are small, useless in hunts, and completely dependent on adult attention every day. Your mother's tense face means danger, even before anyone says a word aloud to you. An elder's silence tells you when to hide, stop laughing, or listen carefully at once. When other children mock you, your body learns that rejection carries real pain inside. You do not know the word shame yet, but your nervous system remembers it. And this changed everything, because humans began behaving for approval, not only survival. They shared meat while hungry, because generosity made them safer inside the watching group. They helped children not their own, because kindness built invisible protection around them later. They decorated bodies, told stories, and learned how to become memorable to others nearby. They laughed at jokes they barely understood, because belonging mattered more than honesty sometimes. The tribe became a mirror, and every person started adjusting their own reflection daily. But the same mirror that protected them also began trapping them inside quietly over time. Danger no longer came only from claws, storms, hunger, or darkness outside anymore alone. It could come from a pause, a whisper, or someone turning away from you. One small rejection could feel like the forest opening behind your back at night. But the strangest part begins later, because this fear helped build civilization itself slowly. Without concern for reputation, promises would collapse, food would vanish, and trust would die. People followed rules because someone was watching, even when nobody held a weapon nearby. They kept agreements because shame could punish them harder than any stone blade could. So villages grew from invisible pressure, from fear, respect, memory, and belonging together over generations. But this is only half the story, because the same system wounded people deeply. It made them hide fear, swallow anger, and smile when they felt broken inside. It made them obey cruel leaders, because disagreement could mean exile or death quickly. It made them perform courage, even when their bodies begged them to stop running. At some point, humans feared disappointment almost as much as predators outside the camp. Here is the real climax of the story. The ancient tribe never truly disappeared. It changed shape, moved into cities, classrooms, offices, and finally into glowing phones everywhere. Today, nobody banishes you from a cave for one awkward sentence anymore at night. But your brain still reads silence like a fire suddenly dying out inside you. A missing reply can feel like being left behind before winter begins again alone. A strange look can feel like the tribe has quietly voted against you today. That is why people check screens again, searching for proof they still belong somewhere. That is why approval can feel warm, and rejection can feel physical inside you. But the deepest truth is that this fear also made us human together in groups. We survived because we cared about trust, respect, shame, kindness, and belonging deeply enough. We became builders of groups because being alone was too dangerous to ignore completely. Yet the ancient alarm now rings inside moments that are not deadly anymore today. It rings before posting, speaking, disagreeing, changing, leaving, or becoming different from others completely. So the question is not how to stop caring what people think forever completely. The question is whose eyes you still carry inside your head today quietly alone. Who sits around your inner fire, judging whether you deserve to stay there tonight? Who made you feel that being yourself could make you abandoned by everyone nearby? Because the first fear of opinion was born from the need to survive together. But now, survival alone is not enough for a human life anymore today, truly. We must learn to live while others look, whisper, judge, and misunderstand us anyway. And maybe freedom begins when the tribe watches, but you keep walking anyway forward. If this story stayed with you, remember it whenever silence feels dangerous again inside.